only time his name was encoded in the Bible. And crossing his name, as plain as day, were the words, "Assassin will assassinate." I was shocked.
Rabin completely ignored the warning. But on November 4th, 1995, the information encoded in the Bible proved all too true. Rabin was gunned down by an assassin who believed he was on a mission from God. So if the code is divinely ordained, as Rabbi Bakia suggested, then what might it tell us about great biblical warnings, such as the end times?
What is amazing is that whereas the Old Testament tells us very little, if hardly anything, about this person called the Antichrist, we find within prophecies, within the words of the Old Testament, we find Bible codes, prophetic Bible codes, confirming what is being told in the New Testament. We find his involvement, his political involvement with the Middle East. We find the 10 political entities or countries he will rule with. We find his origins. But the details that are given to us in the New Testament are found in the Old Testament if they are sought with ELS codes.
But do the codes deal only with events surrounding Jerusalem or biblical themes?
The tragic events in New York, the terrorist attack on the World Trade Center buildings, have given new impetus on Bible code research, because all the details concerning these events can be found embedded in a Bible code matrix in the Old Testament. First of all, you find the date, September 2001, which appears only once in the whole Old Testament. This date is crossed by words such as 4, planes, 2 buildings, terrorist, Taliban, as well as the name Osama, which appears about 3 times very near that date. Incredibly enough, the words American and United appear in a cluster, as well as the word in the morning, hijacker, Afghan, and war, all together in the same matrix. In fact, the name Osama bin Laden crosses a verse that says, "Terror is in his heart, he who bringeth down the towers."
Computer Bible code software research and development is moving at light-year speed, yet it will be years before the full extent of what the Bible code has to tell us is fully known. And now anyone using a variety of Bible code software products in their own personal computer can search the Bible code. Many of the software packages are easy to use even if the user has no knowledge of Hebrew. You first select the range of text you wish to examine, then select the range of skips you want the computer to use. Then select a word or phrase, and the built-in translation feature finds the Hebrew equivalent. Hit the Find button and the search begins. The results can then be displayed on a matrix. The new matrix decoding systems, combined with translation software, lexicons, and dictionary searches, open up the strong possibilities that people may be able to find themselves and/or future events in the Bible code.
People are so uncertain about the future. They want something that will give them that security of tomorrow. But God has chosen not to give it to us. And the Bible code is certainly not meant to be used for that. It is just basically a magnificent, beautiful, scientific documentation of the multi-dimensional nature of God. It's for us to enjoy, to give ourselves spiritual faith and edification, but not to try to predict. I find it very dangerous when people do that. ELS Bible codes within the Hebrew text are not the only codes that exist. A study of the Greek version of the book of Matthew has shown some sort of vocabulary, regular sequence within its own self. Also, the King James Version of the Bible shows an uncanny, regular grammatical code, even like almost like a dictionary within itself. Now, it seems that when people take on the task of writing the Word of God, God seems to pour extra material in it just to show us its greatness. God knows how much more there is that we haven't discovered.
The Israeli mathematician who discovered the Bible code, Dr. Rips, thinks that we have found only the first and simplest level of a code that is probably far more complex. As a mathematician, his assumption is that if we find this clearer pattern, there is almost certainly a much larger pattern. But we don't yet have the mathematical tools or perhaps the technology to see it.
The possibilities could be endless. The research continues, however, and new, exciting, and controversial information is almost a daily occurrence. But now, for the first time, those seeking answers to the age-old question of the Bible's authenticity can look to science as well as religion.